What is going on, guys? Welcome to the WorldPub podcast. My name is James. I'm here with Oscar. How are you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm very well, thank you very much. I'm very well. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, man. I'm intrigued to have this discussion with you, man. So tonight, guys, we'll be having a conversation about the metaverse, right? And where we think the metaverse is going to be going in the 10 years. We're going to have a bit of a chat about the technology that's going to be, coming to the metaverse, what sort of companies are going to be doing it. So yeah, man, I'm excited. It's been a long time coming, right?
Yes, it's been a long time coming. We've been discussing this for quite a long time now, in the last month or so. And I just want to get straight into it, discuss our views on the metaverse and see where it leads.
Absolutely, man. So, the first thing I'm gonna put to you, right, because it was quite funny. It was sort of last month it came out in the back end of August. You probably remember, right? We'll put a picture of it up on screen now. This tweet came out from Mark Zuckerberg, right? He put it out on Facebook, and there's this picture here, guys, right? And it had a bit of negative feedback from the community, right? In the sense that a lot of people didn't like it. Some people did like it. But yeah, Oscar, I just want to see what do you think about this, man? Like, what are your opinions on this?
Yeah, so regarding the first picture, I was very surprised because at first, if you're bringing out something new to the market, I would think that it's going to be very good quality and it's going to look very realistic. But when you look at this picture, it's not like that. It's not that case. It's not that case. And it looks very 2D, very not very reality like. And so for them to post that, it's just not it's very unassuring that the metaverse will be something that looks very realistic. And from my point of view, I would like it to have a better feel and home feel in the sense that you can see that the the resemblance of reality. And with this picture, it doesn't show it.
Absolutely, man. And it is that very basic animation, right? But the point is, guys, while we're showing you this, right, when Mark Zuckerberg brought this out, there was some mixed feedback, right? But then he tweeted another one out, and he came up with this, right? And as you can see, this has got so much more detail in it, right? And it just shows you the power of where the metaverse can go. So, we're in the year 2022, right? Sure, it's nearly the end of 2022. That's crazy to think, right, man? It's going to be 2023 and what? Three months, three and a
Mm.
half months. It's going to be 2023. Where the hell has the time gone, man?
It's gone very quick. And you can even see as well, like how much he's done from the first picture and to the next one, which we'll discuss in a second, that the resemblance is very different from the basic to more advanced in that short time. Imagine in the next 5 to 10 years, what would it look like? And so that's it's very good in the way that it's always developing. And so this is just very intriguing for me. What about you?
Yeah, man, I completely agree. Like, it's where we are now. Obviously, yeah, we're 2022 going on 23, and this is what he's bringing out, right? And the details on it are awesome. The fact we're at this now in 10 years' time, it's scary to think how realistic it could be if we look back in the past 10 years. Even if we look 10 years ago, say, take your minds back to 2012. Sure, there was really cool games coming out at that time, right? And things like that. But how we've advanced in the past 10 years as to where we're going in the next 10 years, it's a crazy thought. And I think the main thing is that we can't take away from anything is that anything's possible, right? When it comes to virtual reality and the metaverse, I truly believe anything is possible. And there's no limit to how, yes, it is going to take a long time and a lot of money. And then we know how much money is going into these projects, right? We know Meta's putting billions of dollars. We know Microsoft is putting billions into it. All these big companies are putting in a lot of money into it. But it's where it's going to go in 10 years, right? How far can it go? Because we know, technology is a slow progress. It is hard. It requires a lot of research and development. But at the rate it has been going, how far do you think it's going to go, man?
Well, I feel like there's no end to it, and it will keep on developing until the end of time. And for us to be where we are now, like if you see the revolution of like TVs, for example, like we used to have the box TV, and that TV was very chunky. The picture quality wasn't as great, but as you know now, as you can see, like flat screen TVs, the picture quality is very advanced now, and it looks very realistic, and even like 4K right now. And so like there's a lot of room for development, and I feel like it will just keep on developing over time.
Yeah, man, I completely agree. So what I want to sort of dive into, right, in case any of the viewers don't know, this is a metaverse podcast, right? Metaverse podcast. What is the metaverse? And like a lot of people Google, like, what is the metaverse? What is the concept of it? So we're going to get some basics down with you guys, right? The metaverse is this idea of this fully immersive, interactive world where users can interact on a whole new level using virtual reality, right? In that respect, you may be able to interact with your friends around the world in this social world and be whoever you want to be. If you want to be a robot, you could be a robot, and we could be in a cinema. We can create anything in that virtual world. And that's when I say, in terms of 10 years, how far is it going to go? The ideas are truly limitless in the sense that technology is there that you can create anything in the metaverse. If you want to be in the cinema, or there was a recent thing where Travis Scott actually did, was it a concert, man? Do you remember?
Yeah,
Do you remember when he did a
I
concert?
remember
Was
that.
that in the metaverse, right?
Yeah, that was like the launch of the metaverse. And for Travis Scott to do that, a concert, having millions of people, that was just amazing, I would say.
Exactly that, man. And the fact that anyone could just tune in, sure, it may cost money, to attend something in the metaverse. Maybe we get to a day that people are doing these concerts in the metaverse you have to pay to get into, but the technology, does it get to a point where it's that good that you do literally feel like you're there? I think that is very much possible, right? Because you've got the headset with the speakers. You could have some loud music, you've got the virtual reality aspect of it, you've got all the visuals. Let's imagine it, right? You're at a proper good concert with, like, you've got all the lasers and stuff, you've got people all around you jumping up and down. That sort of environment is very, very possible to mimic in a VR scenario. Do you not think?
Yeah, 100%. And just like, even have the, I can say some of the pros with this, like transportation, you don't have to go a certain place. That will have an effect of less cost for you to actually go, and the communication is still there. And being able to be in that virtual reality, that it looks very realistic, very real. And so that just gives you a sense of feel of what the metaverse can actually do. And this is just over the whole board. It just looks, and it will feel probably amazing and very successful in the sense that like Mark Zuckerberg has created this reality for us, and it will just speed up the process of revolution.
That's it, man. And obviously, we've got those platforms now, right? We've got things like Sandbox, but get it straight. The metaverse has not actually been physically created yet. The closest thing we've got to the metaverse is right now is obviously, we've got things like Horizon World, which has been launched, but sure, it's not technically the metaverse. It's not a fully functioning thing yet, right? So where people have got, yes, we can buy land in the metaverse. Yes, you can. But the physical universal metaverse platform that has not been created yet. And, the idea of having this universal platform that anyone can access, it gets complicated, right? Because you've got different companies who would want their own platform. It's whether you can have one physical platform, and perhaps with Web3 that is going to be possible. But it's having that universal platform where we can all go on and have this virtual world. And I want to dive into a bit more how we're going to actually access that world, right? Because it's all well and good, this virtual world being created as a concept. I think we get that as a concept, right? But how are we going to access it? Because right now, mate, we've got some big chunky headsets that we've got to wear. That's not really practical, right? I can't walk down. Sure, you could walk down the street with your VR. I mean, it's at the point now with the headsets, you don't need a gaming PC. That being said, is it going to get to the point where it's a lot more compact? Let's dive into it a little bit more, man. So we've got a few projects, right? I want you to talk to us a bit about them.
Yeah, so like there's one project, the Project Nazar, and this is basically AR headset, well, glasses, which allows you to see in reality. So it will be like holograms, and this is very good because, right, I think they're trying to make it as close as normal glasses in the sense of the width and the size of it, and this will be very substantial for us as well because who knows, like for example, like with the phones, how they have the big phones used to be very big. Now we have these the smartphones, which is can fit in your pocket, you can take it anywhere, and that will be like the Project Nazar. So with the in a sense that the glasses may be big at first, but as time goes by, we can see the development within the glasses, like the size of it, the the realistic view from the glasses itself. And
Okay, so like the projector and stuff, yeah. How? Okay, that's an interesting thought, man. Because yeah, I believe we're gonna put a picture on screen now, guys. Right? Of there is a prototype that has come out. Sure, it's a long way off, but that being said, the aim of the glasses they want is 5 millimeters in thickness, and to be honest, man, a normal glass is apparently between 2 and 6 millimeters. So that's not bad, right? In terms of form factor, if they can get 5 millimeters, it's gonna be pretty similar to a normal pair of glasses, right?
yes, 100%.
Awesome stuff. Well, what we're going to sort of move on to now, in the sense is, where we are now, right? So if we even think back to 3 years ago, you had to have a 2K gaming PC to have these Oculus Rift headsets. I'm sure you guys remember Christmas time, everyone was buying these big gaming PCs to play their virtual reality world. Fantastic. We've come a long way since then. And I don't really think the public knows about it too much, right? Because it is quite a niche thing, the whole metaverse. A lot of people necessarily don't accept it yet. And this is what I think the internet used to be like. So if we go back, when the internet came first out and, the idea of the internet came about, right? A lot of people didn't like it at first. They didn't accept it. And I think that's sort of where we are now with the metaverse, right? Would you agree?
100%. And you can even say that with card payments. Before, every cash was king, but now everyone's using card, contactless, and it's beginning to be a norm to use those things. And I feel like with the metaverse, it might even be like that in the future. So we just don't know at this certain time because we're living in uncertainty at the moment. But later on, it might just become a norm to be in the metaverse, like with businesses, with people trying to learn in the sense that, for example, like a doctor, say if he's performing surgery, before he actually performs on a patient, he might want to use a VR headset or even the glasses to perform the surgery or to increase his skills or her skills and knowledge on how um to do certain things. And so like that's just a broad view of it. And this can be very substantial and positive in the future for us.
Absolutely, man. And we go back to the point, right, where the metaverse, the possibilities are truly endless in the sense anything is possible. You can create absolutely anything in the metaverse. And you touched on a good point there, right? Because, yes, we know in terms of visual aspects, you're going to have a pair of glasses. The idea is you have a pair of glasses that has a projector on. It obviously needs to have power through a battery. And then obviously you access the virtual world through it, right? Obviously, at the moment, if we take the other input device that we have, let's talk a bit about the controllers because we've touched on the whole Project Nazar thing, right? Let's
Mhm.
talk about physical controllers because at the moment we've got those handset rings, and again, I've used virtual reality in the military, right? We tested this battle simulator thing, if you like. So we had VR headsets on obviously you have the two controllers, and that's obviously a rifle, right? And away you go with that, and it didn't really work. I'm not gonna lie. It was very impractical. We ended up just messing around. They sort of spawned in a load of tanks and stuff, and the movement was all very interesting because obviously the movement's on a joystick, and then as you move around, you can aim and stuff. It was pretty cool, right? But again, it just showed where we are, right? It's very early stages because it was based on the Armor 3 platform. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No, I'm not too sure about that.
So it's a common shooter. It's based on the Armor 3 platform, and then obviously they'd improvised it, for the military, and it's something they're sort of planning to use in the next 10 years. They want to improvise that into military training through a virtual reality world. And again, we were sort of the guinea pigs. We were literally one of the first people to use it. Like I say, it didn't really work. We sort of had a mess around. You can get from A to B, you can shoot, but it's like a really old computer game, right? That's literally what it reminded me of.
And you see when you're using those that kind of reality virtual reality, did you like feel anything? Like say when you're shooting, did you feel like the impact of actually being there in the sense that when you do shoot, like did anything vibrate in your hands or did you have that feeling that you
No, so there was no haptic feedback, right? But that being said, there was a prototype. So they had a prototype kickback rifle.
uh,
Again, it wasn't in the thing. It was like a metal tube that it didn't look nothing like a rifle. But the idea was the mechanism would eventually sit inside a shell, which is similar to the rifle, right? So it's just the mechanism itself on that. So there wasn't anything with haptic feedback, but that you've touched on a good point there, because there is devices out there where you can have haptic feedback, so you can get things which go on your fingers, right?
Mhm.
And we take it back to the medical example that you used. People could use these things that go on their fingers, right? And when they access this patient, they can feel this patient. If that patient juds or whatever, they're going to feel it, and they'll get the haptic feedback. You can get wristbands we can talk about as well. So they think that the wristbands are going to be attached to your nervous system. So then you could perhaps feel pain through the metaverse. I take it back, man. The possibilities are truly endless, right?
Exactly. And you touched on a good point as well. Like, we don't know how far the metaverse will go, and see how realistic it's going to be in a virtual world, in the sense that, is it going to be very, very realistic, like in terms of your senses? Can you see, smell, and so forth? I don't know how they're going to bring it in, but it's very exciting, of like the procedure of how it's going to be working later on in the future. So it's just something to think about. So yeah.
Exactly, man. I think it is an exciting time. But we're going to leave it there for today, guys. This is going to be the end of the first episode. So we are going to be having new episodes coming every single week. So we're going to be talking about different topics. But let us know, what are your thoughts? We want to know. Let us know down in the comments. What are your thoughts on the metaverse? What is it going to be like in 10 years' time? Is there anything you're investing in for the metaverse? We're going to be having plenty of conversations, plenty of episodes on, all this sort of topics over the next few weeks. So make sure you tune in for that. Make sure you hit that like button. But that's everything from me. Oscar, anything else you want to add?
No, I just want to say thank you for having me as well today. And yeah, 100%. We'll talk about loads of different things. Anything can be trading, FBA, property, even mindset, like anything.
Anything. The possibilities are endless with the metaverse, and they truly are with the world pad as well. So that is going to be it for today, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and thank you very much for watching.
See you guys later, guys.
See you later.